This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for April 2nd, 2024. It's currently February 13th, 2024, 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading is currently $494.08. It's USD. And the shuffle video that we're about to play for you for the April 2nd reading was created on February 2nd, 2024 at 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here in the lower left corner. So the overall theme and behavior for SPY on the 2nd is a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through a horizontal resistance to meet another resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. The high significator for the day indicates some sort of sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears inflow and outflow. What's really interesting about this reading is that the high significator and the low significator are both nullified, meaning they don't have any relationships on the timeline, making it very difficult to determine where the high and the low are for the day. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. All right, guys, this is definitely a tough one because we've got the nullified high and the nullified low. We have high cross-reading congruency for a high significator here. The Five of Swords, which on the 1 year is the high card for the 1 year. When we look at that April, there's very, very likely a high here in April, and a lot of cross-reading congruencies going on. So we probably revisit the same price level as the previous day. In the pre-market, there's an important resistance level that's highlighted on a one-day chart scale. Usually when we see the peace card, I'm finding that when we meet the peace card, there's kind of a decline off of the peace card, usually. And so you'll see here around the open, we have a rally that ends with a decline through a key support level on a one-day chart. Also, I want to just point out that my notes indicate we probably open at roughly the same price level as the previous day's close. Now, after the decline around the open, we should have a notable rally into the 10 to 11 o'clock hour. It'll be like an unexpected move higher, turning into a notable rally and taking us to a peak somewhere maybe a little bit before 11 o'clock. That peak around 11 o'clock, it offers opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position. Probably add to a short position, because if I don't see a decline into the open or a decline right at the open, I would probably open up a partial short before that happens, and then add to the short here just before 11 o'clock with this failed attempt to break through key resistance on a one-day chart, followed by a decline through key support on a one-day chart, taking us into troughs midday. We should see some sideways rotation near a trough around noontime, and a notable move out of that sideways rotation, but that notable move higher doesn't last. We then turn around and decline to and through support between the 1 and 2 o'clock hours. Decline to and through support to meet another support, and we rotate sideways along that support. And it looks like we probably have a low for the day here between the 1 and 2 o'clock hour. There's another notable rally on a one-day chart that commences around 2 o'clock. That rally also ends somewhere around 2 o'clock, indicating that we then decline into the last hour. But in the last hour, again, we have a big move to the upside that'll stand out on a one-day chart. At the close, a decline through multiple supports and a unicursal hexagram in the post-market. And this is the hangman energy. So really, in the sequence of events on the 1 month, we're still kind of in the energy of what we have for the first. And you can see that we revisit a price level there. And then on the third, we have the adjustment card in a very prominent place. You can see here on the second. So the sequence of events remains the same as I always talk about. But chances are we go lower lower on the third. My sense is that we probably go lower on the third. So if you wanted to do a day trade, you would open up a partial short here around the open before a decline, and then in the midst of a rally into a crest here around just before 11 o'clock, I'd add to that short. I'd close that short around a low here between 1 and 2 o'clock. That's for a day trade. Or I would hold the short, maybe possibly add to the short a little bit in this this 2 to 3 o'clock hour, maybe. Hold it overnight for a swing trade into the third, which we'll talk about in more detail in the reading for April 3rd. That's SPY for the 2nd of April. Don't forget to subscribe, really helps out the channel. Most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma. As always, blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.